Financial education for kids. So in 2022, Kyle Beckman and I wrote this book, Make Your Kids Millionaires. You need to go grab it. We write about our stories and how we raised financially literate kids and how on paper they became millionaires. And now it's about generational wealth. So parents, it's up to you. And if you are a kid watching this and you want your parents to let you have access to things, just go get their credit card and go buy my book. So seriously, when Kyle and I launched this book, it was fascinating how many people said, oh yeah, love the book title, can't wait to get my kids involved. And within a week, 2 weeks, a month later, they haven't even read the book. Right? It's just sitting in its package, from their big pile of mail they still haven't unopened. So I say this and I have a lot of opinions about it because in 1999 and 2000, when I became a millionaire, I didn't start Live Out Loud and then that became Integrated Wealth Systems. I started Money Camp for Kids and quickly realized within months that parents talk a lot, they don't walk a lot, meaning they actually don't sit their kids down, have a monthly meeting and engage. So we're going to talk about what does it take to actually get financially literate kids. Number two, kind of an age by age framework, which we lay out very clearly inside the book, where we have age ranges of what kind of activities and what kind of learning should be happening depending on as they grow and what you've done and what their exposure is. And last, how your kid's cash machine could turn them into the greatest entrepreneur and the greatest earner. So the first thing I want to just say is financial literacy for kids should only be taught in the family. And it should be in alignment to the family and the legacy that the family wants to grow. Should not be taught in schools. There's too much religious and political, dynamics that are even tolerated in schools right now, much less put your financial goals, your financial legacy. This is about you, your family, generational wealth. Has nothing to do about that school. And even the entrepreneurial schools in the nation, usually it's some business administrative, professor that has no clue, hasn't been an entrepreneur. Now, that's not true everywhere. I've attempted multiple times and still would love to be an adjunct professor somewhere and teach true entrepreneurialism. Wouldn't that be fun? Like what a true entrepreneur does and somebody who's actually a true multimillionaire. So some of the financial lessons that need to be really instilled in the kids. And my daughter Tristan at third grade, I think she was maybe 9 years old, created a filing cabinet for kids where you actually, and this is very well known, there's multiple gurus who have done this, where you get the kid into a cash machine. I did mine much earlier, like around 3, 4, my kids were starting to learn to make money because they were also in the era of me teaching a course called 3 Days to Cash, where in 3 days, everyone's guaranteed made money. Last thing my kids are going to do is come ask mom for money when they're in the room. They could just start doing something. So from little wallets to smoothies to little jewelry things to just all sorts of like little, what I call age-appropriate businesses. We actually had a couple of those kids become millionaires and their parents actually stopped working. Those pop-top jewelry, little caps where you string them together, that actually became $1 million company. It was on Barbara Walters on The View with me. We've had fun like helping these kids get their businesses up and then watch them become amazing entrepreneurs. So putting business in first, and then what do you do with the money you make? So then the money you make is what do they get to spend? What do they get to save, put away? What's long-term and short-term, investing goals? So long-term means get a Roth IRA and put it away. They don't get it till they're 60. Short-term is they might be putting money away for another business, might be putting it away for equipment. Like my daughter's now, she's 19. She was 18 when she became a pilot. And she is, a lot of things she wants to buy is a new headset. She's got to get a new iPad. She's got to get all her, flight equipment and things like that. So once you start them young, they're going to continue to be more entrepreneurial than ever before. And then how much money do they want to give to charity? There's just this entire robust conversation you want to start having with the kids. Again, make sure you grab this book. And if you did get it on Amazon, which you can get it cheaper, I'll just tell you that, but you won't get the $1,500 bonuses because I don't know you bought the book. Amazon doesn't give up their buyers. So you have to go get it from us and just give one away. Your kids need it. You need it. And by the way, this isn't a book that you just have your kids read. This is a parent-child interaction to create strategic goals. So I wanted you to get a pen and paper, and this is straight out of the book, but I want to write it down so you have the information. So I'm just going to read this off from ages 5 to 8, right? Money has 3 uses. Where are you going to do to spend it, right? Because they always have something they want to buy. Save, my word is invest, which is I like to put it in iFlip. And if you'd like to get your kids a free iFlip account, a free Roth IRA where they can start putting money in two accounts, a personal account and a Roth account, click on the iFlip link below and make sure you get an account, have your kids be very interactive. Plus, it's also going to have them go between their bank. And depending on your state, sometimes it's harder to get a custodian account, to have a checking and savings account. So parents, you're going to have to just add them in. And so they'll make money into the bank account and then put money into their iFlip account as their investment. So they could do it personally, or they could do it through their Roth IRA for the long term. Ages 8 to 12, you start introducing earning beyond an allowance. So mowing lawns, selling crafts, walking dogs, services that teach value propositions and value serving to your community. Ages 12 to 16, again, the custodian investment account should be already open, but if not, they'll get more involved in that. And they can start making investment choices. If they have Apple devices, maybe they invest in Apple. If they have Microsoft devices, they invest in that. If they're into AI, they invest in NVIDIA. So there's so many different ways to do this. Start charging insurance is a big thing I did around about 12, 13 years old. I started holding some of what they made into an insurance. So if they got hurt in sports, they still get their money. So they start realizing that, what insurance does and what it covers, especially in the case of an injury with the child. And then 16 to 18, they launch a real business, one that they could probably keep through college if they so choose. And they really create the business, the prices. My daughter went to a entrepreneurial camp at Yale where they actually had to take a business. They had to design a business in 2 days. They had to present it like it was Shark Tank to go raise capital for them. So there are some really cool spaces out there. One of the things we've done is we actually created a scholarship and a grant program. So the kids that are actually going to an accredited program, you can click on the link, have your kids apply. We give scholarships and grants away in the fall and the spring semester. So have your kids apply. Click on the link. And part of that application is how their ability to write an essay, talk about being an entrepreneur, what do they really want, and how they're going to use the money. When your kids get 18, they need to get an LLC or an S Corp or a C Corp, depending on the state you live in. Some of you say, well, that's really aggressive. Well, parents, you're going to still be involved. If you do it strategic enough, you can actually write through your entire college education as a tax deduction. There's a very, very specific legal way to do it. If you take this video to most CPAs, they're going to say that can't be done. It absolutely can be done. It's called corporate resolutions, officer and director benefits, and there's a whole body of tax code that most families don't use. Now, if you're enjoying this, I need you here on my channel 5 days a week. Click on the subscription, click notifications, so you actually get notified every day, 5 days a week. Grab the journal in the show notes and start creating some learning with you and your family. And my favorite thing to do with kids is create a cash machine. There are so many things they can do, from helping what I call older brick and mortar companies with social media, doing this, create a YouTube channel for them. Think of how many teenage girls, young women who are online and they are sponsored by huge makeup companies just showing you how to, get a curl in your eyelash, to getting makeup. How do I know this? Because my daughter probably spends a ton of money on all those sites and you could be the one hosting it. So enjoy, have some fun, grab the book, get your kids involved in this, and this starts up the base of your generational wealth and your plan for legacy for you and your family. If you have any questions, go to askloral.com, ASKLORAL, ask a question, make a request. We'll be back tomorrow.